Hello，大家好，欢迎来到我们今天的艺术分享会。今天呢是我们第8场我们的主题呢是儿童早期艺术教育、舞蹈启蒙 （Dance in Early Childhood Education）。那今天呢，我们主要探讨的是2个方面。第一方面呢，就是舞蹈在儿童早期教育中的重要性。第二个方面呢，就是来分享Miss Shaina 在中国和美国的舞蹈教学经验。那么今天的活动呢，很高兴我们邀请到我们的分享嘉宾 Miss Shaina。那么与此同时呢，为了方便之后的观众可以收看，所以我们请了白老师进行翻译。
嗨，大家好。
好，白老师，谢谢今天的翻译哈。然后我们之前呢已经办过7场的活动，在去年的时候，那么分别有包括家庭艺术教育主题，然后呢有这个从非艺术专业到艺术行业的这个转换。艺术梦想的开启，然后后面有音乐教育、自然艺术的家庭美育，还有蒙特梭利教育艺术，以及艺术治疗和表达性艺术治疗的这样一些7场艺术分享会，那么都可以在我的网站3w.fanluart.com 可以回看到这些活动的链接汇总，以及在 YouTube 和哔哩哔哩上可以收看到这些回放。那么我们现在呢，就有请我们今天的主讲嘉宾 Miss Shaina 来跟我们分享一些关于早期儿童教育中舞蹈启蒙艺术教育的重要性以及教学经验的分享。我们欢迎
Welcome Miss Shaina to share her experience about the dancing for the early age kids and welcome.
Sorry, it's telling me my microphone's muted. Okay, hi.
Hi, Miss Shaina. Yes, you can.
大家好。
Thank you.
I can begin.
Yes, you can get started.
Okay, hello. Thank you for having me. I will go
能够到这里来，每天到这里给大家分享啊。
Okay, I'll get started. So today first I'll say my name is Shaina Seidenberg. And today I'm going to talk about dance in early childhood, my experience in dance and teaching dance in both America and China.
今天呢，我会分享呢关于我在舞蹈教学方面，在中国和美国的这个所有的舞蹈教学的一些经验给大家。她的名字叫做 Miss Shaina Seidenberg 啊。It's a German name?
Yeah, it's German, Polish, Jewish.
它是那个德国裔、还有波兰裔和犹太裔的这样的一个名字。
Okay, and the next slide, please, Fan. So a bit about me. I started dancing as far back as I can remember, but I started dancing in classes when I was 6 years old.
Miss Shaina 她在6岁开始从小就开始跳舞了。
I started teaching dance to students of all ages when I was 17 years old. And I also have my Bachelor's of Art in Dance from UC Irvine.
他呢，大概从17岁开始进行舞蹈的教学，他在 UC Irvine 获得了他的舞蹈学的学位。
I grew up in Southern California, and now I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm currently a personal trainer, yoga teacher. I work with children. I'm a dance teacher, and I'm also working on my own business and brand.
Miss Shaina 呢，她呢经历非常的丰富。她不仅仅是她在南加州长大，然后现在呢主要是在北加州的湾区 Bay Area 洛杉矶旧金山湾区的地方，她的进行教学。她是呢个人的训练师，同时她还是瑜伽老师她会跟很多的那个孩子们然后给孩子进行舞蹈方面的教学。她同时也在开始她的个人的这个就是品牌和舞蹈教学的这种刚刚开始他的个人品牌舞蹈教学。
I have
只是说吧。
Oh, sorry, I heard something. Okay, I have lived in China before, in Beijing, and I love to study Mandarin. I've studied in high school, a little bit in college, and I'm starting again with a new tutor soon.
他呢曾经在那个他曾经在中国那个教过小孩子舞蹈所以呢他现在呢马上要开始进行新的这个舞蹈方面的教学，所以他自己本身来讲既会说中文又会说英文然后我孩子颁布，然后曾经也跟那个 Miss Shaina 然后学过舞蹈然后对，所以我们就邀请他来，然后OK。
All right, next slide, please. Okay, so benefits of dance in early childhood.
首
There
先
are
他会
different.
介绍一下，觉得那个对儿童进行早期舞蹈教学有什么样的好处
I will talk about a lot of different reasons. I am very passionate about this, so I obviously have a lot of ideas about the benefits for early childhood development.
他会讲一些关于舞蹈教学方面对于小孩子很多的益处。
So first, there's different types of learners. So people and children all learn in different ways. For me, I learn best through movement, and dance helps those who learn best through movement.
Miss Shaina 的经验来看呢，他对于这个小孩子的教学，他最希望的是能够通过动作来直接来指导孩子当然有很多种不同的学习舞蹈的方式他更喜欢是通过动作来进行教学。
Next, expressing creativity and emotion and getting difficult feelings out in a positive way. So sometimes when children are really young, they don't know how to express emotions, and dance is a way that they can express in a healthy way things that they haven't learned to say yet.
就是孩子们在刚刚开始学的时候呢，他可以很好的表达自己的创造性，还有自己的这种情感而且可以得到很多的就是用舞蹈的形式，然后来表达自己的这种正能量。
Also, a sense of community, friendship, and belonging. Sometimes children haven't started school yet, so a dance class could be the first time they get to be around students their age, so they feel a sense of friendship and belonging.
对，当小孩子在很多小孩子在一起跳舞的时候呢，有可能会让孩子们彼此之间更加的了解，然后呢建立更深厚的友情，然后建立很强的归属感。So, Ms. Shaina, do you have a lot of kids, teaching and in your classes? What's the size of the group usually?
I've taught a lot of different sizes of classes, ranging from just a couple kids to up to 20.
对，他有的时候他教的孩子最多的一个班级可以达到20个孩子，然后所以大家在一起跳舞就很容易建立友情和归属感。
Okay, and development from being in community with peers. So I've worked with children as young as 1 year old and 2, and when I see them start to play with other children, they learn more words and they just learn so quickly. So dance class is a way for children to develop more quickly just by being around other students their age.
对，所以呢同时呢也可以让孩子们建立更好的一种交流，跟同龄人进行交流的这样的一个机会。
Getting to dance early also helps place significance on different career options and opens doors of opportunity and inspiration.
同时呢，那个进行早期孩童的这舞蹈教学呢，可以让人们 给大家给孩子们提供未来的很多不同的这个舞蹈方面的职业的选择啊。同时呢，也可以给大家很多的激励。比如说现在那个看国内的话，有很多跳舞就是舞蹈的这种线上的自媒体啊什么的，提供很多新的工作的机会啊。
Yeah, and a little more on that. Sometimes our society only thinks that being successful is in one career, like a doctor or a lawyer. But I've been around a lot of very successful dancers who support themselves through dancing.
对，即便如此的话，我们知道，就是很多事业上很成功的人，比如说是医生啊，还有律师啊，他自己同时他也是舞蹈者啊。虽然他的职业上他不是以舞蹈作为他的职业，但是他依然能够自己支持自己，然后进行舞蹈方面的探索。
So getting to dance at such an early age helps to set you up for success in a career field that might be better for you than something more traditional.
所以呢，对于孩童来讲呢，如果早期能够对他们进行舞蹈教学，就是好像在他们很小的时候呢，就让他们产生一个这种事业上的一种成功感啊，能够给孩子们建立更多的信心，无论他未来做什么样的这种职业。
Music awareness and then therapeutic, like music and dance therapy. So music and dance can be used as forms of therapy. So dancing to music and moving can help alleviate stress or any kind of emotional distress also.
随着音乐进行舞蹈，同时本身也是一种疗愈的一种过程。
Motor skills, education, like learning counting, shapes, games, muscle memory, proprioception, body awareness, spatial awareness.
比如说有一些什么运动方面的一些技能啊，还有like learning counting，比如说数数字啊，还有认形状啊，还有进行一些简单的游戏，还有一些肌肉记忆的建立啊，这些内容都会在舞蹈的训练当中帮助孩子们成长啊。还有同时对于自己的那个 perceptions and body awareness， 对于身体的了解呀，还有对空间的认知感都会有帮助。
When I teach or when I work with young kids, I always try to make everything an educational opportunity. So I really like to incorporate education in dance also, just to help kids always be learning at such a young age.
他经常会在他的舞蹈教学当中融入其他不同的元素在里面，教育性的元素。
Some children are really, really, really shy.
比如说有些孩子特别的害羞。
And dancing is a way for kids to cultivate confidence and expression and just learn how to make friends and not be so shy.
如果对于非常害羞的孩子，带领他们一起舞蹈呢，可以教他们帮助他们认识新朋友，然后克服自己的害羞，然后能够让他更加的放得开。
Dance class can be a chance to meet people you normally wouldn't from other communities, different families. It can be a more diverse experience to meet new friends.
对，同时呢，它也是一个非常好的机会和认识新朋友的这样的一个机会。
So in recent years, exercise has become more popular for everybody, and that includes for children, because any type of exercise done properly will help with strength, balance, stability, control, and maintaining a healthy weight and healthy body.
舞蹈训练呢，很显而易见呢，它可以帮助孩子们训练他们的力量啊，他们的平衡感啊，稳定度啊，他们控制力啊，还有他们的他们的那个就是让他们有一个更健康的体重。
Okay, next slide, please.
对，同时也帮他们建立自己的信心。
Okay, so my experience in China, I taught dance at Beijing 现代音乐学院 for go ahead.
对，Miss Shaina 她呢曾经在中国呢，在北京现代音乐学院进行舞蹈教学，所以呢，她会接下来分享一下她在中国教学的一些有趣的经历。
So the students were middle school, high school, and college, and their ages ranged from 14 years old to 27 years old.
孩子们呢，主要的年龄段呢在14到27岁，是他在中国的学生中国教的学生。
And at the time, I was 24 years old. I was living in Southern California, and somebody on Indeed sent me a message and asked me to move to China in 1 month.
当时 Mr. Shaina 他只有24岁，他在那个地的就是国外的一个招聘的网站上so you publish your own profile, right? 他自己放了自己的简历，然后就有人联系他说，你能不能1个月来北京北现代音乐学院来给我们教舞蹈
？They found my resume on Indeed. So I didn't apply for the job. They just saw my resume and they needed a teacher really quickly.
当时他完全他自己没有他没有就是向北京现代音乐学院递申请但是应该是有个猎头专门找到了他，然后让他马上快去很急需舞蹈教师。
So I quit all my jobs. I was on a dance company and we were doing shows, and I quit everything, and I moved to China within 1 month's time.
他当时呢，他跟朋友呢在一个舞蹈公司有工作，然后所以他很快的就停掉了其他的工作，然后1个月之内就搬去了中国。
When I got to the school, my translator didn't actually speak English, so I just had to teach the class in little bit of Mandarin and English, and most of them didn't speak English.
因为大多数的学生并不说英文，所以呢，他会在教学的时候呢，他用英文和一点点的中文，然后来教大家。
So I ended up creating my own syllabus, my own rules, my own structure, because there wasn't any at that school. So I came up with all of that on my own for my class for the semester.
Miss Shaina 呢，因为她去了以后，她把所有的这些教学的大纲还有课堂的这些纪律包括她的教学的这种结构，她完全要重新建立，所以她自己相当于自己完整的设计了一套课程。
The styles that I taught were modern, jazz, improvisation, and technique. I tried to teach things that the students hadn't been exposed to yet, so I could give them a new perspective and give them something that they might not usually have access to.
Miss Shaina 教的舞蹈呢，主要是包括现代舞爵士舞还有这种即兴的舞蹈，还有一些技巧方面的东西所以呢，中国的孩子们有一些舞蹈是他们从来没有接触过的所以他可以给他们带来一些新的一些认知。
Yeah, so I had a really wonderful time. Also, it was very adventurous and very challenging, but I always wanted a international experience like that, and it definitely felt like a dream come true for me to be there.
所以对于 Miss Shaina 来讲，她能去中国教学呢，是她希望有一个国际性的这种教学的经验，所以她觉得去中国是她的一个梦想，她达成了她的梦想
Okay, next slide, please. Oh,
这里是 Miss Shaina 的一个分享，她在中国教学的时候。
Got a piece of my mind to tell you who's mine. Nobody hurts like me for you. Soft slacks at night, I'm wearing them tight. Nobody hurts like I do. I'm not yours to undress. I'm leaving this love for the last time. I'm not yours, I'm mine. You've got the means to caress, but we can leave me a mess. One touch is enough. Your hands a little too rough. Your hands a little too rough. Your hands a little too rough. Will I ever be enough? I'm not yours, I'm mine. I'm not yours. We follow the fader to black. Release the ropes and feel the slack. I'm not yours, I'm mine. I tell you every time you walk in a fine, fine line.
Wow, great. Very flexible. So, go ahead.
I wanted to talk about that student because he and I are still in contact. We email with each other, and he was just like a really devoted student. He would always record our classes so he could practice at home, and we just had a really strong teacher-student connection, and now we're friends and we still keep in touch.
他想说一下刚才这个学生就叫 Aladdin， 然后他呢是一个非常就是非常热心学舞蹈的一个学生，所以他每次的话学舞蹈的时候，他都会把这个舞蹈的视频录下来而且他跟那个 Miss Shaina 呢，就是老师和学生之间有非常好的这种建立了很好的这种联系。So Miss Shaina, may I ask a question? What type of dance is this one? Is it belongs to modern or jazz or?
My style ended up being a fusion because I studied so many different styles. So it's comparable to like a contemporary artist. So that's my choreography. So I fuse all the styles I studied together when I dance.
所以刚才的舞蹈是属于the original, right? It's original one.
Yeah, I choreographed
刚才
that.
是
Yeah.
Miss Shaina 她自己创立的一种融合多种就是舞蹈形式的一种就是 fusion 叫做融合性的这种舞蹈是她自己原创编舞的。
But you probably could call it contemporary dance or modern or jazz. You could call it those things.
对，你也可以把它管它叫做现代舞蹈。Yeah, you can keep going for the introduce the student. The difference.
Yes. Okay. So I wanted to talk about the differences between teaching in China and America. So the Chinese students at first were really, really shy. So that took a little bit of time because in America, dancers are not shy.
在中国的话，绝大多数的孩子会比较的害羞所以呢，一开始要花一些时间跟他们交流但是在不像美国的孩子们非常的活泼比较容易放得开。
After time, the students in China really opened up because they felt comfortable with me. So they wanted to explain to me why they were so shy.
但是过了一段时间后，那个学生们就可以开始跟老师进行交流了，他们会解释自己为什么一开始会不好意思。
I would always be asking them for their ideas or their thoughts and asking them a lot of questions. And it took a lot of time for them to open up because they told me that was a very new experience for them. And usually they said class was usually more serious and they shouldn't ask questions or talk.
所以在 Miss Shaina 的时候，他在上课的时候，他会问学生非常多的问题来引导他们，让他们逐渐能够打开自己的心扉，然后愿意跟他交流。然后发现中国学生是有一个习惯，他们认为上课会非常的 正经啊，是吧？老师在上面讲，所以呢不应该打断老师和问很多的问题。Yeah, it happened to me when I was little. I was also very shy.
Okay, and then next point is the students in China were very respectful, so they really valued teachers and they valued me so much, much more than in America. I was only 24 years old, so some students were older than me, but there was a really strong sense of respect for teachers.
他觉得非常好的一点就是中国的学生普遍对于老师呢有非常非常强烈的这种尊敬感觉虽然他当时只有24岁，然后跟他学习的学生甚至有的人年龄比他还大，但是学生们对他都非常非常的尊重。You like it, right?
Yeah, it was nice.
他觉得很好，他很喜欢中国学生的这种尊重老师的态度。
So expressing creativity was challenging at first. I think they were shy, but over time, the students opened up and enjoyed expressing themselves through dance.
但是过了一段时间之后呢当学生们放开了，不再害羞的时候，他们就逐渐的能够展现出自己的创造力。
A few students shared with me, they told me that dancing or teaching dance in China could be a really good business opportunity for them and a good way of making money. So sometimes I think in America, it's kind of the opposite. Like most dancers can't really, well,
make money.
well, like I would say that people don't like, you can, but most people don't choose dance for the money, right? People choose like doctor for, well, doctors, doctors, you'll make a lot more money.
Yes. 他发现呢，中国跟美国的学生们在学舞蹈的时候有一个很大的差别，就是中国的学生他知道这个用跳舞的这种方式呢可以挣很多的钱。Yeah, I know some of the dancers, they actually publish their TikTok, they're creating their own personal media or something, and they make a lot of money out of that. OK， 但是在美国的话情况大不一样，因为在美国的话大家都有可能主要有自己的工作，然后他们把这个跳舞更多的当做一种兴趣爱好和热情所在这个是一个很大的差别。
Improvisation. So I have a short story. So one day I wanted to have the class improvise. So if you don't know what that is, it's just like in music when you don't plan the movement in advance, but you just make it all up on the spot.
有一次他进行了一次那个跳舞的一个特殊的课程，叫做即兴舞蹈基本上就是放一段音乐，然后你其实预先并没有编排好任何的舞蹈的动作，然后就随着音乐要开始跳。
So I made a circle and I wanted everybody to improvise, and some students that were really sweet, usually they ran out of the room because they felt way too shy to do something like that.
一般的情况下就是有的学生会感觉非常的害羞，有可能他们就是有可能遇到这种即兴舞蹈，他们不知道该怎么跳，然后他们就跑出去了但是他们那天呢非常非常的贴心，他们自己围成了一个圈。And after they form a circle, what did they do?
Those students just ran away. So they didn't come back to class because they were just way too shy. Because I was having one student at a time go in the circle and dance. So they thought that was way too scary.
对，然后Miss Shaina 她当时她做了一个就是舞蹈的一个圈，然后 so it's actually a circle, you invite a student to come into the circle to dance, right?
So the whole class makes a big circle and then
OK，
one at a time.
让大家围成一圈，然后每次进去一个人进行跳舞，然后中国的学生觉得哎呀在大家中间面前跳非常非常的不好意思，然后他们就跑掉了，甚至有的人直接跑出教室就不回来了。And what happened?
So later like the next week they came up to me in the cafeteria and they apologized because they felt so horribly that they ran out of my class because they really they're really good students normally, but they were just, it was just way too scary for them, and I don't think they ever did that before.
后来有的学生在那个食堂里面就跟 Miss Shaina 道歉说，老师不好意思，我们从你的课堂上跑出去，因为我们从来没有做过这样即兴跳舞的这种课程，简直是太可怕了，他们没有心理准备，所以他们跑掉了。但他
Yeah,
们本
so
来
it
是很
was
好的学生，他们本来的学生学得很好但是没有遇到过这种挑战。
yeah, it was kind of a tough situation because I was only 24 years old, and they like in the cafeteria when they wanted to apologize, they like fell to their knees and were saying sorry. But I think there's so much emphasis in China on respecting the teacher that I think they were so embarrassed that they ran out of the room.
然后他们在那个食堂里面还非常对老师感到很抱歉的时候，还大家一起跪下，然后一起唱歌唱 sing sorry， 跟大家说就抱歉对不起。然后Miss Shaina 她能非常感觉到就是在中国受到了学生们的这种尊重，即便她当时只有24岁，还很年轻。
Okay, and then a few different things. I already mentioned there was so much value placed on teachers and appreciating teachers, much more than in America, I think. And then a lot of my students treated me like a therapist. So they just really, they saw me as a way to tell me everything that was bothering them in school or society or family or friends. They just all would always tell me all their problems.
对，所以呢，在中国的话，学生们不仅仅很尊重老师，而且他们非常喜欢 Miss Shaina， 然后呢，也非常愿意把自己生活当中的一些经历啊，比如说生活中遇到的烦恼啊，遇到的朋友啊，然后把这些经历会分享给老师，他们非常愿意跟 Miss Shaina 建立联系。
And the teachers lived in a teacher building, and most teachers were from different countries. So a lot of the students saw the teachers as a celebrity. So they would always be bringing gifts to our doors and recording us. And it was just very unique experience.
对，而且那个时候 Miss Shaina 他们作为外教嘛，然后在外教的那个就是教职工宿舍那边居住的时候，有不同国家的老师都会来，所以当时学生们就把他们当做好像明星一样那样看待，所以呢，大家有时候经常会给他们送一些小礼物啊，然后同时呢，如果看到他们出现啊，也会很高兴啊，然后会给他们拍照啊，就是 so they're like they're fans of you, right? They act like they're your fans, right?
Right.
You're the star,
right.
you're the fans. 好像追星一样的那种感觉。
Yes, and that I was not treated that way in America. Definitely not.
所以他非常非常就是喜欢这个，非常 enjoy 这个过程，他非常享受这个过程，所以他在美国从来没有作为老师从来没有被人这样对待过。所以他非常喜欢在中国的这一段经历。
Okay, and then next slide. Okay, so faith. I was baptized in 2017, and then I definitely always saw spirituality as a part of my dance journey.
Miss Shaina 她本身也是基督徒，她在2017年的时候受洗，然后呢，她也会愿意分享一些她关于就是在她跳舞当中的关于信仰的一些内容。
And I taught at a church group. I gave a presentation like this in China actually, and I taught them some dance in Beijing.
同时她在北京的在那个教会当中呢，也给大家分享 分享过一些关于跳舞的东西。So what type of teaching in the church group did you do? Can you give us a little bit more thing about that?
I actually don't. Oh, I think that this was kind of a lot of years ago, but I think that they wanted me to teach about Thanksgiving because it was around Thanksgiving, and I think they wanted me to talk about the Thanksgiving.
Okay. It's more like a culture, experience,
Yeah.
Cultural teaching or something, right? Okay.
Yeah,
对
that's right.
对，然后他作为舞蹈老师，也在那个北京当地的教会去分享关于美国文化方面的东西，比如说感恩节的内容。
And then I definitely felt like I was meant to be in China at that time because, it was so extraordinary for me to receive that invitation from Indeed. I didn't even apply for that job. So it definitely felt that I was meant to be there at that exact time.
Miss Shaina 她觉得她有可能被邀请去中国去进行教学，有可能是命中注定的一些事情，上帝给她的一个使命，因为她从来都没有申请过这样一份在北京现代音乐学院那个跳舞的这样的工作，她感觉是受到上帝的这个呼召和鼓励，然后去这样的去做这样的工作。Somebody Jenny said you are so brave， 说你非常非常的勇敢。
谢谢Jenny。Yeah, and then also I know that I was supposed to be there because the students and I really connected, and they told me, including the student Aladdin that you saw the video of, just told me I had such a big impact on them.
学生跟他说，就是Miss Shaina 对他们的影响非常非常的深刻，对，给他们带来的影响很大。
All right, next slide, please. And then just a little bit about what I see for the future. I feel definitely a really big purpose for working with young kids. In addition to being a dance teacher, I've taught yoga to dance, and I work with a lot of families just with their children in their home as a caregiver. And then, I want to just continue my work in fitness, dance, business, working with children, and of course, working on my Mandarin.
当然他未来的工作呢，还是主要以这个孩童的小孩子的这个舞蹈教学为主。他非常喜欢就是同时也帮助其他的一些人做一些那个个人的这种训练师。他希望用他的技能，然后能够帮助更多的人所以他同时呢也会更加精进他的普通话，精进他的中文，然后可以让他帮助到更多人学习跳舞。
All right, next slide, please. And feel free to keep in touch. If you want to ask me additional questions, you could always email me. And then I also put my LinkedIn, my website, and my Instagram for my business and myself. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all. I'm always happy to answer.
这里是那个 Miss Shaina 的这个各种各样的联系方式，然后包括她的 Instagram， 她会分享她的舞蹈还有她教学的一些过程如果大家感兴趣了解更多关于 Miss Shaina 的舞蹈和她的未来的教学然后所以可以联系她。Okay, so we can start our Q&A question immediately, right?
Yes.
我们现在就可以开始进行这个回答问题的这个环节了。Jenny Jan just asked a question. What is the best age to start dance for young children? 小孩子最好是从几岁开始学习舞蹈比较好一些？
I don't think you could ever be too young. So I've worked with kids as a babysitter as young as 4 months. And if you have kids, you know that they start dancing really young.
所以最早的话就4个月就开始跳舞了吗？ 4 months? Are you serious?
Well, 4 months, I think probably more like, when babies, they bob and they clap. So I think they start really young, but usually classes don't start for kids until 18 months.
18 months, OK， 所以最早的话，4个月的孩子其实他就开始已经有意识进行舞蹈了。但是呢，如果真正要给孩子开始教学舞蹈的话，从18个月开始比较好。大概就是 actually it's 1 year and a half years old or one and a half years old, right? Oh, that's pretty
Yes,
early.
but yeah, but usually the classes are with a parent participation, so it's the 18 months and the parent together.
所以舞蹈的早教的话，最好是要有家长陪同的情况下1岁半就可以开始。Okay. Any other questions?
好，然后我们之前已经收集了一些问题We already collect some questions. Because most of the parents live in China, so it's already very early morning in China. 我们也会先问一下这个 Miss Shaina 之前已经收集好的一些问题然后首先有一个问题呢，就是基督徒是否可以练习或者教学瑜伽
？Yeah, so there are actually some questions collected from online, and some of other parents in China, they're actually very interested in some. This question might be a little bit hard. She asked about, can Christian dance or teach yoga? 就是 yeah, because as we all know, the yoga is actually more coming from Buddha, right? But as Christians, and is that good to dance yoga?
Well, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about yoga. So the yoga that I learned, it's not religious at all. It's just like principles to just help calm your mind. So there's lots of breathing techniques, and it's not a religion. It's more exercise and supposed to just calm the mind. So I would say yes.
OK, Miss Shaina 她觉得有可能大家对于这个舞蹈方面瑜伽呀有一些误区，就是认为瑜伽它一定是有这种宗教性的，但是她把这个瑜伽的舞蹈当做是仅仅是一种锻炼身体的一种方式，比如说一些技巧还有一些呼吸然后比如说她听的音乐，她选的音乐也不一定是要有这种就是宗教暗示的音乐，她会选择她就是一些比较平静的音乐就可以了So it's actually you actually only consider as a type of exercise instead of the religious movement or something, right?
Yeah, exercise for core and also the breathing to calm like your mind.
它只是一个平静它的意念的，这样平静它的这种心情，平静它的意念的一种呼吸的一种方式
好，谢谢 Miss Shaina。然后我们看一下刚才正好提到就大家如果有问题，线上有问题呢，你也可以打在这个聊天框里，或者你直接打开音频就可以提问。那么刚才第一个问题 Jenny 问的后面有个后续问题是吧？就小朋友在学习舞蹈的时候应该适合学什么样的舞种
？Yeah, Jenny also has another questions about little kids and what kind of dance style or music or movement should they start from?
For how old?
I guess 2 years old or something.
Early childhood, like from
early childhood.
0 to 8.
0岁到8岁之间 is a very early age. Her daughter is 4 years old. 她的女儿4岁，应该从。
So I would recommend types of movement that are healthy for anybody. So a lot of exercises that are good for adults, like balancing on one leg or, jumping and bending your knees and like strengthening your core, and like everything that's healthy for adult is also really healthy for kids.
Oh, okay. So it's actually 做一些平衡性的练习。他说做一些平衡性的练习。So can you see what type of? Do you have an example or how to do that, or will you actually provide another example?
Yeah. So the reason I say that first is because some people, like I was noticing in the questions, don't have access to dance classes, and maybe not really good ones. So, and then in addition, dance movements can if you do them too much without other types of movement, it could be like, especially ballet, it could harm the body. So it's good to have like a really good base of healthy exercises. So as an example, yeah, things like Pilates or yoga are really good. I think it depends, like if that person, what that person has access to where they live. Yes, like Jenny said, Jenny
Yes,
said
foundation.
the foundation, right?
对
Exactly.
Let me translate to.
Yeah.
Miss Shaina 的意思就是说，可以让孩子做一些基础性的动作的这种练习，因为有一些比较专业性的练习，比如说像芭蕾啊，如果小孩子太早进行练习，有可能会伤害他们的身体。所以他说就是比如说像 Pilates 啊，还有 Yoga 啊这种可以让他们进行早期的这种训练和这种基本的平衡性的这种训练，有可能对小孩子比较好一些。
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So Fan has another question. So what's the best age to start a ballet dance for kids? 几岁开始学芭蕾比较好啊？
So I guess it well, I've taught, usually I like around 4 is when you're able to really teach more technique, because when they're 2 and 3, it's more just getting them to focus and teaching them about being in a class. But when you're 4, if you find a good school and a good teacher, then that's when they can actually really learn the ballet technique at probably 4 years old.
对，从2到3岁的孩童呢，主要是进行他们的注意力的训练等到4岁之后呢，就开始进行芭蕾方面的训练了。From our experience, our kid, Bamboo is actually follow the Miss Shaina for ballet dance for a little bit, right? 就是从我的经验来讲，我们的儿子跟 Miss Shaina 学过一段时间的舞蹈，然后我记得当时Bamboo 的话，只要是在 Miss Shaina 的课上，他就会非常的注意力集中。然后他就不会开小差那样的，然后呢，一到别的老师的课上，他就到处乱跑那种。Yeah, so Miss Shaina is a good teacher. Miss Shaina 教的非常好。Yes, I said, Bamboo is actually in your class very focused and not like in other class in classes of other teachers. She was running around and she was super focused, and you did a great job.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, so. There are actually some other is there anybody? Okay, so Jenny asked a question, is online teaching. Is online teaching for dance good? And do you recommend this way to learn dance for little kids?
In person is always going to be my first recommendation, but I think it just obviously at this moment in time, it can be really challenging to find that or find like a good teacher. If you can find like a really good teacher, I think it's totally fine to do it online if your child can focus. But otherwise, for me, like I always prefer in person.
他觉得就是说在线上最大的问题就是孩童的注意力，如果他能找到一个很好的老师，能够让孩子一直保持注意力的话，那是可以的。但是对于 Miss Shaina 来讲，他自己还是更喜欢就是面对面的进行教学。
好的，那我们继续来问一下之前收集到的一些问题啊。那么下一个问题呢，就是国内的一些家长问的啊，他的孩子呢，就是他们目前在中国的一个小城市里边，然后他觉得没有找到特别好的舞蹈老师，然后他呢觉得想要给自己的孩子做这个舞蹈的启蒙，作为家长他能够做些什么？然后在哪里可以获得一些比较好的学习的资源或者舞蹈启蒙的资源？
Yes. yeah, this is actually another question. In some small cities in China, and the lack of proper, and a very good dance teachers, they're actually in lack of resources. And does Miss Shaina know any very good recommendations you can actually offer, dance education for the young kids, for those people who are not access to the live teacher, a face-to-face teacher? Do you have any online resource to recommend for them? Mm-hmm.
So I could look around for online resources and try to send those to Fan. I would have to look into that, but I could definitely do that. And then for me, like because I still like to dance, I still like to take yoga, and I don't have as much access in Northern California as I did in Southern California to that. So there's actually a lot of similarities between any type of movement. So martial arts, yoga, Pilates, fitness, if you get training in those, if you could find a good teacher in those, it's going to help a lot with dancing. So if you really don't have resources or access, or maybe there's a good like martial arts or yoga teacher in your town, and maybe you could start with that. Otherwise, obviously, online resources would be best.
他说提到了如果是在小城市的话，没有很好的舞蹈老师，大家其实不一定非要拘泥就是教孩子跳舞蹈，因为对于小孩子来讲，给他们进行基础性的训练其实就蛮足够的了。比如说你可以去学瑜伽呀，去学普拉提呀，或去学一些功夫啊，这种功夫的这种训练，武术的训练，都是可以帮助到孩子进行这个基础方面的训练的。但是同时呢大家就是也要考虑到，就是如果说需要有这个线上的一些资源呢，这个 Miss Shaina 他会就是可以愿意去查找一下，搜索一下，然后最后来发给Fan 发给FanLuArt，然后再分享给大家。Thank you。
好的，谢谢啊，谢谢老师，谢谢 Miss Shaina。那么下一个问题呢，就是还是国内的一个家长问的啊，他说就在国内上兴趣班，就舞蹈作为兴趣班呢，通常会是作为这种考级的项目，因为大家上兴趣班是为了考级，对吧？所以他很难老是去挖掘你本身孩子的一些潜力啊，或者说因为孩子非常多，所以很难去特别有针对性的去挖掘他的潜力。那么在这样的情况下，如何能够持续的保持孩子的兴趣，以及如何分辨一个好的合适的舞蹈老师？那一个好的舞蹈老师需要一些什么样的一些 quality?
Okay, so there's another question regarding one of the parents, her daughter is actually learning ballet in China, right? But in China there's actually a system, every students have to actually get levels and taking some examination to actually set up their levels. And in this system, the kids are actually very easily to lose their interest or passion, right? Because you have to keep dancing something to pass the exam and to make it higher and higher. And she has a question, how to actually help her to make her get her passion back, and how to improve, and how to find a good teacher, this kind of good teacher who can keep her passion. Yeah, I guess this is a very hard question.
It's okay. How old is she?
How old is she? 就是那孩子多大啊？
孩子多大？家长没提。
They didn't mention, but I guess probably around 10 or something. I guess
okay, so
because they actually have to pass the exam.
Yes. 他没有提孩子多
They
大。
didn't mention.
但是他提到的就是说，上兴趣班很多是为了考级，可能无论是舞蹈啊，甚至美术，对吧，都是参加考级。就是他的训练的目的不以兴趣培养为主，而是以这个考试升学或者以后为了加分啊，这种现象比较普遍嘛。就说的是老师没有办法去挖掘你这个兴趣啊。
Yes. So, Miss Shaina, I have to explain a little bit more about Chinese system, and the parents send their kids to learn dance, art, music, and they're actually having a system for that one. And if you get the highest system, for example, you get a level 9 or now level 10 exam, and probably you're gonna get some extra credits when you enter the college or high school or something like that. and it's very
Mm-hmm.
easily for the kids to lose their passion, and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be very hard to balance our passion, our passing exam to help their academy. It's yeah, it's
Yeah.
very
I think I'll do my best to answer. I know it's tricky because there's such a cultural difference, I think. But I think probably one of my biggest regrets as a dancer is just taking it a little bit too seriously and not balancing with other types of exercise, because I had a lot of wear and tear on my body. And I was an adult. So just think what that could do to kids. So at the end of the day, like, kids need fun and kids need to play. So I think if she can somehow figure out a way to make, dancing fun for her kids, because kids are kids, no matter what, like kids need it to be fun. That's why when I'm teaching, like, I make sure it's really entertaining and fun, and they still learn.
对，所以 Miss Shaina 她在她自己进行教学的时候，她觉得就是孩子就是孩子，他们真的是非常需要更多的娱乐和玩耍。所以呢，她在进行教学的时候，她会保证每次就是做一些游戏，然后让这个舞蹈的课程感觉到更加的有趣。然后呢，同时在这个有趣的过程当中，然后让孩子继续的学习啊。Did I say? Yes. Can you give an example for this one? For example, how to make it fun? How to make it fun? Can you make an example in ballet or in any dance you're interested in?
I like to switch, like, have a lot of diversity with my approach, I think. So like I mentioned, if she's able to help her daughter practice other types of movements, like not just ballet, because if she if she works on other types of movement, like I think I was a good dancer because I also played soccer, I golfed, I swam, I did cheerleading. So I was a really strong dancer because I did a lot of different things. So maybe like switching it up, having different approaches at home, different than what she does at school, will make it, just keep it fresh and more interesting.
所以 Miss Shaina 的方法就是说，比如说她说那个跳舞并不是唯一的运动的方式啊，比如说她孩子虽然在学芭蕾，但是 Miss Shaina 她自己本身来讲，不仅仅她跳舞，她还进行足球方面的训练呀，瑜伽方面的训练呀，what else? Skating or something?
Who?
The movements you talk about. I'm sorry, I didn't mention all of them.
No, it's okay. Yeah. I mean, any type of movement really helps.
对，所以就是说，他说在不同的运动当中或者不同的舞蹈方式当中，不停的来回的转换，然后让他一直在尝试不同的新的东西，这样呢，他对于他自己喜欢的芭蕾啊，然后他就能保持这种新鲜感啊，所以他自己经常在家里的话，也有各种各样其他类型的这种运动的方式，然后进行交互性的、交叉性的这种不停的不同的方式的转换的练习啊，让他保持新鲜感。OK。
好，非常好，感谢老师。那接下来一个问题哈，因为正好呢，我们这个白老师他也是位音乐老师，然后 Miss Shaina 呢，她在这个运动还有这个舞蹈方面都非常的有专业的训练以及这个教学的经验，就想问一下，因为我之前在这个湾区上了一个课哈，叫 Montessori 下面有一个课叫 Art, Music and Movement， 那么它其中也是给2岁半到6岁的。所以就是蒙特梭利是 Maria Montessori once said, watching a child makes it obvious that the development of his mind comes about through his movements. 那么关于这个音乐和这个律动和运动这方面的结合，像刚才 Miss Shaina 也提到这个 music awareness 就是可不可以结合从音乐的角度还有舞蹈的角度说舞蹈如何可以促进这个音乐的学习，然后音乐的学习又如何可以帮助这个舞蹈的学习。
Okay, so Fan has a very big question. Yeah, she used to actually getting some workshop from the Montessori Montessori study, and which was for the kids of 2 to 6, and they actually having the combination of the dance and the music at the same time. And but from your personal view, and you also mentioned the music awareness in your speech, right? And how would you like to actually interact the dancing with the music, and let the learning of the dancing and improve the music, and let the learning of the music improve the dance? Do you have any idea about this, interactions or, correlation in between these two?
Yeah, I would say my dancing is very influenced by music. There's some dancers that don't have as much of a tight connection to music, but I would say most dance is pretty influenced by music, especially ballet. I would say the most successful dancers and the dancers that people enjoy watching the most, they feel the music very deeply. So for me, I listen to music a lot, and I can just sit still for hours and listen to music, and I've been that way since I was a little girl. Do you want me to pause?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
首先来讲呢，Miss Shaina 说她承认确实那个音乐对于舞蹈有非常非常大的影响，然后起到在舞蹈中起到非常的作用，尤其比如说像芭蕾舞呀，我们都知道那个天鹅湖的那个音乐对吧？它都是那个根据这个音乐来一起进行跳舞的所以呢，首先作为一个舞蹈者来讲，你希望音乐能够影响你，首先你得听音乐，比如说 Miss Shaina 她就经常听音乐，她有可能一听音乐连听好几个小时。May I know what type of music you really listen to? 我可以知道你听的音乐类型吗？ May I know what type of music you really listen to?
Oh, I really I listen to a lot like I always am switching the style, so a lot of different types of music. Yeah.
OK. 他说他自己听各种各样的音乐，他都会去听各种各样的音乐都会去听。Yeah, you can keep going.
But yeah, in terms of connecting the two, I mean, I really love just playing music for kids, like I've taken care of babies full time, and anytime they're in the stroller, I play music. And at home I say, do you want to listen to music? And so I just always play it for them. And obviously some people are going to be more connected to music than others, but I think overall music is like healing for people. And then just listening to it, I think it helps you to understand it, and then you dance more together with the music.
对，所以说就是听音乐对他来讲是非常非常重要的。他有的时候经常在教学呀，包括他那个有的时候照顾很小的孩子的时候，他也会一直不停的放音乐对。
好，那白老师呢，可以讲讲吗？就是你觉得音乐的学习是不是你从音乐的角度，你从音乐教师的角度可以聊一下吗？
我从音乐教师的角度上来讲，from the perspective of teaching music, I think dancing is also very important. Dancing is also very important. For example, there are actually very important, elements. There are 3 elements in music. Number 1 is the beats, right? Number 2 is the rhythm, and number 3 is the melody, right? But at least for the first 2, the beats and the rhythm are very important for little kids. For example, if you're singing a song, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, you're counting this one in a waltz. 是一个华尔兹的舞蹈，它是一个3拍子的舞蹈。所以if the kids cannot catch this, rhythm, and it's gonna be very hard for them to play the music, play the instrument correctly, and make it on beats. So, sometimes I would like to actually, for example, sometimes when I was teaching, 我在这教课的时候呢，我有的时候呢会帮助学生们，比如说练习一个 3 beats, right? Music. I will hold my guitar and like I was dancing at the same time. And then I was dancing and stepping my steps and let the students follow me. It was actually on my back, and they were following me and follow my tail. And then stepping, 1 2 3 2 2 3 3 2 3 4 2 3, and trying to follow me at the same time. And so they actually when stepping and then they actually learn how to catch the beats. 孩子们在跟着我跳舞的时候，他在跟着我学习练习这个吉他的时候，他也会体会这个节拍的重要性。Yes, this is from my perspective. Yeah, the rhythmic and the beats 就是节拍和节奏的训练也需要舞蹈的加入。And of course, if you're teaching drum 如果你是一个孩子是学那个打鼓的话 playing the drum sets 那更需要 it's actually playing drum sets itself is actually also like a dancing you're using all the movements from all parts of your body 也是对于整个身体的各个部分都要加入进来的一个综合性的一种训练。
好，白老师稍微简单翻译一下，你刚才说的很激动哈，你说了3个元素，你可以用中文说一下。
对，音乐上面有3个元素，第一个元素叫做节拍比如说 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3，这个就是一个最基本的 dancing 的一个华尔兹舞蹈的一个节拍如果小孩子他没有抓住这个节拍的话，你让他去弹乐器是非常难的所以呢，我一般在一边跳舞的时候呢，我会比如说一边弹琴，然后一边弹琴，我会给他们数拍子1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 Welcome Miss Shaina to share dancing our meeting. She's so nice and so talented, and we are so happy to have her. Like this one. 对，就是欢迎 Miss Shaina， 然后给我们分享，然后 I was actually make songs and words and for the kids， 我就会给小朋友们现场编一些歌呀什么的，然后让他们跟着我一边往前走一边跳。当然了，这种就是线上比较难做但是线下的课程就比较容易让大家会跟着我来一起一边跳一边弹。For myself，I'm a bad dancer. I'm very bad at dance, and yeah, I hope to learn. To learn more from Miss Shaina, if possible. 对，我自己跳舞跳得不太好
好，非常好谢谢白老师。这个问题正好又是衔接到下一个问题我们还有2到3个问题。正好白老师说到就是成年人对吧想要学舞蹈，就是因为舞蹈启蒙它大部分我们讲的是儿童青少年的就是小孩子，但是成年人呢也会有这个想要学舞蹈的这样的一种爱好，对不对？因为小时候可能没有机会。那么对于成年人的舞蹈初学者有一些什么样的建议？
Yes, second one is the next question is actually about the adults, adult students, right? For the kids, they're very good. Do you have any suggestions about the adults? Is that good for the adults to actually getting started learning dance, even they're already grown up? And sometimes probably they're very busy with working or all kinds of stuff. Do you have any suggestions for them?
Yeah, I mean, if people, everyone technically should be exercising at least like 30 minutes a week, right? At the minimum. So I, as a personal trainer, I work with really, really busy people who, they only work out that 1 hour a whole week. So if you, like for me, I always ask people, what type of exercise do you like? And I try to put that in their workout. So it's definitely, if you like dancing, then that, and you're really busy, then dancing can be your workout.
所以他觉得是对于成年人来讲，每一个人大概每周呢至少都要有30分钟的锻炼的时间。然后如果呢从他的角度上来讲，我觉得就是如果你非常的工作非常的忙，然后家庭各种事情非常的忙，你至少要每天要有30分钟让自己能够锻炼的时间。然后舞蹈呢也是锻炼的一种很好的一种方式。
好的，谢谢。我们最后一个问题好吗？我们
last question。
那么最后一个问题就是说如何培养家里小朋友对于这个舞蹈的一个兴趣和欣赏？因为呢很多家长他没有这个舞蹈艺术学习的这个背景，那么如何去给他们有一个正确的引导和启发和启蒙？
The last question is actually a lot of parents, they don't have the background about art or dance. they have zero experience about that one. They don't know how to do that. And how do you cultivate the interest of the young kids in appreciating dancing? Right? And how do you actually do you have any recommendations? How do you help the kids getting started to interested in this one?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because for me, like, when I was born, it was like I was always just in my room dancing. Nobody told me to do that, and I always loved music on my own. So if there's no experience, then definitely I would say the best thing parents can do is research to find the best, if they want a teacher for their child. I think it definitely takes research, because obviously there's teachers that are way better than others. So I think not just any teacher, sometimes the teachers are really young and don't have a lot of experience. So I would say definitely, if you want a teacher, then I would say definitely research to find the best one in person or online. And then, like the things I mentioned before, it's just getting your kids to move their body and turn on music at home. There's I like to play freeze dance with kids, and there's a lot of freeze dance songs that they play the music, and then when they say in the song, and when the music stops, freeze. Just get your kids started at home, play music, get them to play games, just get it started.
Okay, very good. So 所以 Miss Shaina 她首先说的一个问题就是说，首先那个家长呢可以去寻找一下当地的那个舞蹈教师的资源，如果自己真的是一点经验都没有的话，一定有非常非常好的老师。如果你非常感兴趣这方面的话，需要花一些时间去帮助孩子寻找合适的那个教学的资源，好的老师。第二点呢，就是在家长平时在家里也要经常呢就是放音乐，然后陪孩子做一些好玩的游戏。比如说刚才 Miss Shaina 提到了一个叫 freeze dance games，right？ 叫做应该是我们中国应该叫木头人跳舞For example, we play some music, right? Freeze, right? 然后马上要孩子们停，就是马上就是不动，不许动，然后让孩子们停止跳舞，然后继续放音乐。Freeze 然后再停下这个音乐，然后再让孩子们停止不要跳Is that this kind of game? 是这样的一种
Yeah, and also more on that point is there's a lot of songs that have instructions in the song. So they say hey kids, we're gonna play freeze dance. So now when the music stops, you freeze. So the song actually gives instructions.
Okay,
and
so the freeze is already in the music. It's not we actually stop the music on purpose.
Right, exactly. And then there's a lot of songs like that where it says okay kids, jump on one leg, okay, spin around. So the song, the parents don't
they have instructions inside, right?
Yeah.
Great. Miss Shaina 她提到的这个音乐就是说她这个音乐里面本身就有那个语言的这种指导，比如说让孩子们转一个圈呀，然后停止跳啊，然后她就是有这样的一种舞蹈。So if possible, can you try to recommend some channel or music to this type of music?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I can do some research to email Fan, because I've used a lot of those type of songs in my own classes, and then I've worked with some really good teachers in Southern California that create their own album of songs. So I can send I could send Fan some stuff.
OK, 他会回头找一些这种叫 freeze dance 的这种 music，然后发给那个 fan， 然后再分享给各位家长。
或者我们以后也可以期待 Miss Shaina 可能他会持续在做这个儿童那个舞蹈教学，也会录制可能一些视频啊，有一些线上教学机会。所以我们也很期待 Miss Shaina 的一些未来的一些分享。
And we're also looking for Miss Shaina to make more online resources about your dancing, the music with the dancing, and then can share to everybody.
I make to give you some
Yeah,
resources,
I mean,
right?
we also look for your own like children
Yeah, your
class
own.
or some other resources like created by you. So we
Mhm.
also
Okay, that's 好主意 OK。
yeah,
好主
我
意。
想我想一
That's a good
我
idea.
我想一想，我想一想。
yeah, thank you very much. We really appreciate. I still remember the first time we sent bamboo to a class, and you didn't recognize like what bamboo like is a boy or a girl, but you just like readjust your class arrangement because others are all girls and just one boy, but you just like reset a little bit. So that's really good experience. Teacher can do that.
对，我们第一次
Thank you
给我们的孩子就那个介绍给去 Miss Shaina 的课程的时候呢，因为绝大多数的小孩子都是女孩子，一般老师呢的课程呢都会教女孩子跳的，这些课程设计都是针对女孩的。但是我们的儿子去了之后呢 ，Miss Shaina 他及时的调整他上课的这个内容，然后让他不仅仅适应女孩子，同样也适应男孩子。比如说女孩子有那个突突，有那个小的那个突突是那个头上的花还是那个什么
芭蕾舞裙。
芭蕾舞裙啊，对 ，sorry 啊，然后呢，那个孩子没有，然后男孩子没有，然后 Miss Shaina 就换了一个东西，然后让这个让 Bamboo 然后去 follow， 然后让我们的孩子然后也能跟上其他的女孩子的这种跳舞的这种这种节奏。
主要就是老师比较有教学经验的时候，因为可能第一次上课，然后他没有知道这个孩子的名字是男生还是女生，他就可以临时做一些调整。我觉得这个是只有有经验的老师才会做出一些适当的调整，非常好。
So we're talking about Miss Shaina is very experienced.
对，非常好啊。然后刚才有一位家长提问说，白老师说了音乐3要素分别是节拍、节奏和旋律。那么我们也知道这个舞蹈和音乐都非常的密切哈，不可分，所以我们家长其实在家里也可以经常的播放音乐，提供这样的一个氛围啊。逐渐的他也会打开各种感官，然后动起来，然后可以去运动也好，或者是舞蹈也好，都对我们小朋友的这个各方面的发展都会非常有帮助。所以呢，非常感谢那个 Miss Shaina 这一次很慷慨的给我们的分享哈。其实很多一些精彩的分享都在这些对话当中可以呈现。我也非常感谢白老师的翻译。
Thank you so much, Miss Shaina, for your generous sharing and about your experience in dancing. And we're so happy to have you today.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. 不客气，很高兴认识你们。
OK
好的，非常感谢。那我们今天的分享会就到这里。
Thank you, everybody. And this is actually ending of this, our meeting. And thank you for joining us.
OK， 再见。Thank
you.
Bye
bye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
谢谢大家。
Bye. 谢谢大家。
谢谢大家。
谢谢 Thank you. Bye bye.